Hello and welcome again to the Cinephiles podcast, where we talk about anything and everything from the movie screen to the TV screen. And we discuss and review things from the past, present, and whatever else hasn't even been released yet. My name is Josh, and I'm recording this from Guam. I actually had just finished watching a few hours ago the new Toxic Avenger movie, starring Peter Dinklage and directed by Macon Blair. This is actually a reboot from the 1984 Toxic Avenger movie, which was created by Lloyd Kaufman, who also directed the movie, and he directed as well all the sequels after. There was also an animated series. I think it only lasted one season. It came out in 1991. I do remember watching that as a kid. I think it was actually called the Toxic Crusaders. I remember having the toys as well. As for the 1984 movie, I don't remember watching much of it when I was a kid because there's so much in it that you can't watch as a kid. So I did rewatch it a few days ago before coming into watching this Toxic Avenger movie. And yeah, there was so much in it that a kid shouldn't be watching, but it was great. Watching it as an adult now, it's just funny. It's great. And this new Toxic Avenger movie with Peter Dinklage, it's if you're looking for fun comedic gore, go out and see this movie. This movie is just great. It's a dark comedy, and it just has so much laughs, so much action, so much gore. I think it's even an independent movie. It's an independent film. It did have some issues, though. I've been following this movie for a while because I did get triggered when I heard there was a Toxic Avenger movie. And of course, I remembered it when I was a kid. So I thought, okay, hey, I've heard of this. Let's see how it goes. It was filmed in 2021, and then it did have its premiere at Fantastic Fest in 2023, I believe. But from there, it had issues being distributed, being released. I guess they couldn't find a distributor that wanted to get the movie out there. For reasons being, I think the companies felt the movie was unreleasable. Maybe they weren't feeling the gore, they weren't feeling the story, because this movie really just isn't for everyone. I mean, just like with a movie like Deadpool, violence, gore, curse words, all that kind of stuff. It's just not for everyone. Not everyone can watch that. So this movie took a while. It finally got out this year. It was saved by a company called Cineverse, a distributing company called Cineverse. And they were also, I think, the company that distributed Terrifier 3, I believe. So thanks to them, we finally got to see this masterpiece. And it's just awesome. It's just amazing. It's just great. A little bit on the story. It's just like the old movie. So the 1984 version, you have Melvin, who is just a young guy, bullied and underdog, pretty much getting beaten up and everything like that by men and women. And he just falls into some toxic waste and becomes Toxie. He is a mutant vigilante, and he just saves people, destroys people, and so that's how the 1984 version was. And it's this version, this new version is pretty much the same. Macon Blair does a good job in preserving the spirit that the 1984 version had. He preserves it in this movie through a character named Winston, who's also would you say? I think you'd call him a loser, down on his luck kind of guy, a struggling character where he's a single stepfather that is taking care of his stepson alone, and he finds out he has some health issues. This is where it's kind of like a Deadpool story. So he finds out he has some health issues, and he can't afford to take care of his health problems, and he can't afford to pay rent or even take care of his stepson. So he goes through his company, the company that he works for. He works as a janitor there, and he goes through the big company, tries to go through insurance that's provided by his big company, and nothing works. He doesn't get any money, doesn't get any help from the insurances. So he goes up to the big boss, Bob Garbinger, who is played by the great Kevin Bacon. If you love Kevin Bacon in as a villain in X-Men First Class, you'll love him in this. He just does a phenomenal job as a villain. I mean, Kevin Bacon, years of acting. He can play the good guy, can play the bad guy. He can pretty much do it all. Same with Peter Dinklage. Both actors, very versatile. They can do whatever they want. Everything they touch turns golden. Characters they play are just iconic. And I would say that Peter Dinklage here plays Toxie very well. But anyway, so Toxie, or Winston, he's not Toxie yet, he's Winston, goes up to the big boss, gets into some trouble, and gets dumped into some toxic waste. He gets some powers, gets strong, but not in the way that you would see pretty much Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. He does not have the ideal superhero body. He looks like something you'd pick out of the dumpster. He just looks really messed up. Eye falling out, pus coming all out of all of his body, and he's colored green. He doesn't look that great. But he does have this mop, this kind of radioactive mop as his weapon, and it's just a funny, kick-ass weapon that just gets the job done. He goes up against the big businessman. He goes up against gangsters, corrupt politicians. He just saves the day. He like the 1984 version. He's just out there kicking ass and saving the day. So you have Peter Dinklage playing Winston, and he does a great job of it, along with Jacob Tremblay playing his son Wade, who Winston, Toxie, has to save later in the movie. But you have to give props also. When it comes to this movie, you have to give props to Luisa Guerrero. She's the stunt performer, because Peter Dinklage is not under the prosthetics. He's not under the suit. It's Luisa Guerrero. She does the movements for pretty much all of Toxie's moves, and she does a fantastic job of getting all the movement down, the action down, everything. And you add that along with Peter Dinklage's voice and his acting, and they just bring the character of Toxie to life. The humor, the anger, the emotions of Toxie, they bring it all into there. And yeah, Luisa does a great job with even the comedic movements. It's all good. And then you also have Fritz, who is Bob's younger brother, and he's a henchman, somewhat of a hitman for Bob, and he's played by Elijah Wood. And Elijah Wood does a great job here, because he plays a villain, and you don't usually see Elijah Wood play as a villain or someone. He goes deep into this role. Elijah Wood actually looks like Gollum in this movie, in which Elijah Wood was in Lord of the Rings. So now he looks like the disgusting, kind of freakish looking villain in this one. And he does a great job of it, but you feel sorry for him later in the movie, because he's one of those henchmen or villains where they start off bad, but then their heart grows 2 inches bigger or grows in size towards the end of the movie, and they do some good. And then you just feel sorry for the guy, and you just wish that maybe things could have turned out better for him at the end. So the CGI for this movie, you can't expect too much. It's an independent movie, so it's a lower budget movie. You don't expect a $200 million budget, but the CGI was great, just enough to get the movie going. You have the prosthetics. The prosthetics on Toxie just look great. The suit looked great. What I loved was they took a piece of the 1984 Toxie. If you've watched it, you know that Melvin in the original version wore a pink tutu when he fell into the toxins and became Toxie. And this happens here as well. So they incorporate that into this, where Winston is in a tutu and he also falls into a toxic waste and becomes Toxie with that tutu on still. But of course, they still make it look pretty badass, and the way he looks in this movie just looks great. Everything about the prosthetics, it was just from the pus coming out, the ooze, because he doesn't have blood. It's more like ooze and toxins coming out, to his acid piss. And yes, there's acid piss in this movie, which is a very important part of this movie. It pretty much saves Toxie's life towards the end, and it just gets him out of a tight situation. The movie had a lot of great comedy, great action. So if I were to put in a little bit of a spoiler here, this movie gets pretty gory, so I'm going to throw in a spoiler. For me, it was a comedic spoiler. It's a funny spoiler with some funny gore. And so there's a fast food scene, just like in the 1984 version, where Toxie comes in and saves the day with his, how would you say, radioactive mop, and he kicks some ass. He literally destroys everyone. Blood everywhere, jaws flying off. He smacks guy's jaw with his radioactive mop, and the jaw just flies off. The guy's tongue is just dangling. And to add some comedic effect to this gore, there's one part where, in this same scene, Toxie pulls down the pants of one of the gangsters, of the bad guys, pulls down his pants, and he pulls the guy's intestines out through his ass. And of course, he pretty much kills the guy. He pretty much kills everyone in the room. And the gore was just, when you add comedy to gore, there's just something about it. Just like, I'll always compare this with Daredevil, or Deadpool, I mean, the Deadpool movies. The combination of comedy and gore, they just do it right in this movie, just the same way they did it with Deadpool, or the same way it was done with Deadpool. So if you like that kind of action, comedy, and gore in Deadpool, you love this one. The villains here, it's nothing too great. I mean, you have the big businessman. But what made this a little bit better, that I find made it better than the 1984 version, is that the villain here, you have more than one toxic creature here, because, spoiler alert, Bob extracts toxins from Winston to try to replicate the whole thing. I guess they're amazed by the way Toxie is, that they want to recreate him. They want to replicate him so they can make money out of it. So they extract blood or ooze from Toxie, and Bob comes into a situation where he drinks it. He drinks it and he transforms into this beast, this monster. It looks like some sort of goat guy, but he transforms into this monster, and they come into this whole epic big battle scene at the end, to where you find Toxie fighting this monster that Bob turned into. It's pretty much a radioactive mop versus, I believe, Bob's monster was using an axe. And like I said, Luisa Guerrero does a great job with the movements. I'm not sure if she's the one doing the fight scenes as well, but the fight scenes were all just great. The choreography was great. Everything was just there on point. So they go through this whole big fight scene. and then there's explosions, there's blood everywhere, there's other characters getting involved, and it's just, for a low budget movie, you don't expect all this stuff. I mean, a lot of independent movies, you'll see just love stories, deep stories. You don't see stuff where you need so much effects. I mean, I think that's also why I love the Ninja Turtles movie, the very first Ninja Turtles movie, because it was also an independent movie and it did great. And I'm hoping that the Toxic Avenger does great as well for an independent film. I mean, it got lucky with Cineverse helping distribute it. Legendary helped in financing this movie. I assume, I think that they helped finance this movie, but Legendary helped with getting this movie out there. And I think people just need to support these independent films more and appreciate them more, because there's so much hard work that you can tell put into this movie, even with the effects. Like I said, you can't expect the effects to be something of like a DC movie or an MCU movie or even Avatar. You can't expect this to be like Avatar. But for what they were given, they did such a great job here. The prosthetics were great. I can't praise it enough. It just looked good. For a low budget movie, you would think that it would look something like those cheap, something you'd see out of the Power Rangers. But no, it looked better than that. It was, when I watched this movie, there was only probably 5 people in the movie theater, but it seemed like everyone enjoyed it. Everyone loved it. You can hear people laughing. You can hear them making comments about certain scenes, positive comments, not negative comments. And everyone was just having fun. I would say that there were even less than 10 people in the movie theater, but we were all having fun. We were enjoying it. And people need to go see more movies like this. And props to these actors like Peter Dinklage, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood, who come into these smaller budget movies and bring them to life. And I don't know much about Macon Blair, but he does such a great job with the direction in this movie. And like I said, he brings in that spirit from the classic to this one. And I would just say, go out there and see this movie. If I were to rate this movie, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. And in recording this, I think Rotten Tomatoes has it at about between 85 to 90% right now. I'm not sure, but I know it's certified fresh so far. And I think it deserves praise from the actors, or to the actors. They all deserve praise. The storyline deserves praise. It's not the most unique storyline, but they make it work. And I'm just a sucker for underdogs. I don't care if the underdog is Peter Parker to muscular Spider-Man with great powers and flying over cities, or if it's even an underdog like someone like Winston, down on his luck guy, middle-aged man that just falls into toxic ooze or a toxic container and comes out looking like this green pus-filled mutant. It's just a great story from being an underdog and just feeling sad for the guy, but he becomes a good hero. It just makes you think like, that saying that you can't judge a book by its cover. Because you look at Winston, you look at Toxie, you won't even think that he's someone that would save the day. You look at Toxie, you think, okay, this guy looks like the guy that would kill everyone, good or bad. He'll just destroy the city just because he's going crazy. But no, this pretty much unleashed freak is saving the day. He's a guy that you don't expect to save everyone, but he gets that done. And through Peter Dinklage, Louisa, and the direction of Macon Blair, They get everything just right. So I would recommend everyone watch more movies like this. Watch this movie. This movie is just fantastic. So uh, go out there, see this movie. I don't know where it's being released. I know it's being released in the US and in the UK. Hopefully, it gets a worldwide release because this is a movie that everyone needs to see. The whole world needs to see this movie. It's just silly fun in a world where everything is just so serious right now, and we're just having so many downtimes. You can't go on the news or watch TV now without seeing so much downtimes. We just need some silly, stupid fun, more movies like this. And maybe they'll make a sequel, but even if there wasn't a sequel, this is a great standalone film if that's what it's going to be. And praise all the actors, praise everyone. Cineverse for helping get this movie out there. Peter Dinklage for bringing Toxie and Winston to life. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this movie. And if you loved the 1984 film, you'll love this as well. It's just everything from there and more. So go out there, see this movie. Trust me, you'll love it. If you're into gore and violence and just stupid, stupid fun comedy, you'll really enjoy this. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this whole Toxic Avenger movie. If you haven't watched the 1984 version as well, watch that. Watch this one. Go ahead and watch the sequels. I haven't watched them yet. I probably will eventually watch them. I know I'm going back to watching the cartoons just for the nostalgia. But yeah, so Toxic Avenger, great movie, great cast. It's for what they were given. They did such a great job. So props to everyone that worked on this movie. And yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Go out there, see it. I'm Josh from Cinephiles. Thank you for joining me again. This is a shorter episode, but I just thought that I needed to record it right after watching this movie while I still had the fresh emotions in there and coming out of the movie fresh. So go out there, see it. I just can't say it enough. Go out there. This movie is just fun. Don't take it too seriously. Just have fun with it. Okay? All right. So I'm Josh, coming from the Cinephiles. Thank you for joining us again. Listen to us on Spotify. We're going to have episodes coming out on YouTube as well. I just got to get them all out there. But we're going to be out there on Spotify. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, do what you need to do, and just show us some love. Okay? All right. Thank you guys. Cinephiles out. Bye.